So maybe you've tried some of these tips and none of them have worked, or maybe you were looking for something additional. The next one requires some skill, but it actually is just taping the arch of your foot. There's a good majority of you out there that have a flattened arch or require a little bit more support in your arch, and by taping the arch of your foot, you may notice actually that this is quite beneficial. It provides a fast, simple, and effective way of alleviating that foot pain whenever you're walking. What it requires is it requires you to go out and buy a roll of athletic tape. Now, one of them, the brand name here, is Renfrew Athletic. This is a good quality one. Another one is Johnson & Johnson, right? These two athletic tapes will cost you anywhere from $1.75 to $2.50, $3 a roll. I suggest you invest in maybe 1 or 2 rolls so that I can show you how you can tape your ankle and your arch. I'm going to show you how to tape your ankle and the arch of your foot to give it a little bit better support. Before I do, you should bear in mind that some of you might have a reaction to the athletic tape. So I would suggest that you continually monitor after you're done taping your foot if you get any itchiness or redness. If you do, you're going to have to take it off. The other thing too is for some of us that have a little bit of excessive hair growth on the top of our foot, you may want to shave off that hair so that when you apply the tape it doesn't stick to it and cause any pain when you eventually have to take it off. When taping your ankle, you could probably leave the tape on for about 12 hours to 24 hours depending on the type of relief that you get. Okay, so I would suggest not leaving on more than 24 hours at any given time. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that our foot is held upwards. Don't let it point down to the ground, but maintain it slightly upwards throughout the whole time. Okay, our first piece of tape that we apply, okay, it goes just behind the big toe bone, this bony part right here that for some of us sticks out. Okay, you don't want to put it on top, you want to go slightly behind. Okay, now when you put the tape on, you wrap it around. Don't tug on it, just gently lay it on. Okay? There you go, that's the first one. Okay? The second one, keeping your foot held up, is start just below the ankle bone over here. Take the piece of tape and start it on top of the previous tape that you just applied. Okay? Again, smoothing it out as you go along. You're going to wrap it around the ankle, and then you're going to come upwards to where you first began. Okay? Again, gently place it on. Then, strip it off. Second piece of tape, same thing. Don't place it on top, but place it about 1/4 to half the distance above, half the width of the previous one. So here's half the width right there. Okay, smooth it as you go around, maintaining half the width. This time you have to go in front. Okay, gently place it on. Don't tug at it. Try not to get any creases. Okay? And there you have it. Okay, so you find that you get this little bit of an arch support in there. Now, for some of you who have smaller feet, you may only need to do this once. Okay? Another way that is suggested is to use half the tape. And I'll show you that right now, especially for some of you that have maybe very small feet and the tape is too wide, okay? Or maybe doesn't provide enough support. Okay? So I'm just going to take those last two off. Well, looks like I got to start again, so I'll just throw that away there. Okay, so the first one again, right, foot held up the whole time, just behind that bony part there. Wrapping it around and gently placing it on top. Okay, now instead of using the full length, of the tape, what you could do is rip it in half. Okay? So what I did is I just did that. Now use this half and start the same type of loop around. Start a little bit lower, below the ankle bone, around the heel, upwards to where you started. Similarly again, half the distance above, around the heel, in front of the previous one to where you started. And you can keep doing this as many times as you need. Some people need 2, 3. I'll do 4 for simplicity here. So go around, right, half the distance to where I started. And I'll do one last one. Half the distance above the last one, all the way around to where I started. Right? Once you've done that, smoothen it out. Okay? And if you've done 4, you'll be left with the tape again. Okay? You do need to apply one more piece of tape. Okay? So I suggest you take both the length from here to here, rip it off, and I'll apply it, and then I'll just show you where I applied it, okay? So I'm just going to turn my foot around. So what you can see here is the arch of the foot is being maintained by those strips of tape that you applied that went around, okay? And if you see from the other side, right, there's the last tape that I applied from here all the way down to there, okay? And that just makes sure that your arch tapes stay and they don't come up, okay? So that's how you tape the arch of your foot. Another way of taping the arch of your foot is a little bit more simple than the other one. It requires about 3 to 4 pieces of tape depending on how big your foot is. Okay, again, your foot is held slightly upward the whole time. First tape, exact same position as the other one, just behind this bony part of your big toe. Wrapping it around. And then placing it there. Okay, the second one, half the distance, half the width. Okay, again, going around, laying it on, don't tug at it. There we go. Third one, which I think I only need 3, keeping the foot up the whole time. Half the distance. And then back where you started. Okay, so this one here, again, it holds the arch a little bit better. Okay, another easy way, probably not as comfortable as the other one that I showed you, but a little bit more simple. Okay, less complicated with the looping around the ankle. Okay, and similarly when you stand, right, it helps support the arch. Now, I can feel that this is not as supportive as the last one that I did. Okay, so either way, it's still giving me some support, but not nearly enough.